Hello, my name is Curtis Grayson III. I'm an artist, professional artist, and an art educator for over 30 years out of New Jersey, and just enjoy as far as life as an artist. As an artist, I believe that it is your right, is your tool to be the recorder of time. The recorder of time. So, from the arts, that is your visual language that you're able to leave breadcrumbs or footprints of history or what happens. If that artwork needs to be political, every time it's not always about images that's just beautiful. Sometimes it tells a story. Sometimes it has to tell the story of the surroundings of what is happening. It is the telltale sign, it is the measurement of time of what happens in life. And what happens a lot of times, because of the art is what's always documented. That is the first things that usually, when land is under siege or taken, are to be destroyed or to be confiscated, because it destroys the history. It removes the history. Understanding, since I traveled to Cuba and seeing firsthand experience of the haves and have-nots, and understanding more of how it was suffocating the people. But one thing I realized, seeing that the people are very resilient, very powerful. Community is still very strong. The beauty in people in Cuba always finds a way, like that flower, that rose is just busting through the cement floors, just constantly still growing and thriving. It's very tough, a life that's there as far as for a lot of the people that's there, but sense of pride is still there in the people. They always still walk with dignity, and their chest is out. There's a lot of things that still needs to be changed for the people. We definitely need to do more to understand more, whatever, as far as what's happening for the people. Just as humanitarians, just caring for people, as far as for medicine and just for health, just the healthcare, just for food, and just common goods and just things that we need. They should be able to thrive. People should be able to live how they want to live. And I can't wait to go back to be able to help. I felt a badge of honor as an ambassador to come there with aids and materials that I was bringing, doing my part. And I think we needed to continue to keep spreading the word for us all to be able to do our part to help the people of Cuba. Being an art educator, I had the privilege and just being an artist when I was at Casa de Africa, and with my painting that was in the background, I had a beautiful encounter where I was able to explain about the painting, and it was translated from English to Spanish, also as far as into sign language for the hearing impaired, and to hear their story of how they were relating that this looks like the old Cuba, and they felt the beauty of it. They felt the power of it. They could not believe that this artist had never visited their land before, from the way I depicted, as far as showing, as far as the African drummer, the Cubana, Arturo Sandoval, in the painting, the sister smoking the cohiba. So it was just so beauty, and that was just my connection right there, is where I pretty much fell in love with Cuba. Just being there and understanding, without no struggle, there's no progress. And and these people have been struggling, and we have to all unite as far as to be able to understand the struggle. And myself being African American, I understand all too well about struggle, and it's every day as a struggle. As an artist, it's very important that I'm always telling a history, telling a story, because in museums, we were absent. We were not recognized in galleries and museums. So it's very important that people ask me, why do I show a lot of images of people of color? It's because that story has to constantly be told, because we've been absent, but we've been here. We've just been overlooked. And now it's time to break through and break free. But the continue fight has to be there. They say the revolution is not televised, but It is being televised. It's being televised through the arts all the time, and it's there. And I believe that in my passion, in my heart, as I talk about the work. There's an organization that I encourage everyone to be a part of and to support. It's the National Network on Cuba, the NNOC.org. It's a great organization that sponsors and delivers as far as medical supplies and school supplies, everything that Cuba needs. I would encourage everyone to be a part of this. It really helps as far as for the doctors and for for just humanitarians and just to constantly keep helping through this blockade.